Hafaday, welcome to Weekend Edition. Glad you could join us. The Cannabis Control Board is set to review changes proposed to Guam's recreational cannabis rules and regulations by the Office of the Attorney General at its next meeting. CCB Chair Attorney Vanessa Williams tells KUAM the AG's office has completed its initial review of the rules and regulations which will govern the commercial growth and sale of cannabis for adult use on the island when finally approved. The board has not yet set a date for its next meeting. It will review proposed changes made by the AG and send the rules back to the AG for his final approval. The governor has already approved the rules and regulations. The last stop for the rules and regs is the legislature. Senators can vote to pass the rules and regulations that let them lapse into law or hold a hearing and amend them before passing them into law. Governor Leon Guerrero signed legislation that legalized cannabis for adult use on Guam in April of 2019. The law allows adults to grow up to 6 marijuana plants for personal use, but the commercial sale of cannabis is prohibited until rules and regulations are approved. Guam was also the first U.S. territory to legalize medical marijuana in 2014 when voters did so by way of referendum. The Legislative Rules Committee met Thursday to set the agenda for the September session. Two of the key measures to be discussed are both authored by Senator Joseph Augustine. One would be to authorize funding for the design and construction of a new hospital complex to be known as the 21st Century Medical Center of Excellence. The second measure would finance the design and construction of a new prison complex to be known as the Department of Corrections Modernization Act of 2021. Legislative session is scheduled for Friday, September 24th. And GPD officers responded to an Asin residence on the evening of September 9. A female alleged that she was sexually assaulted by 31-year-old Joaquin Peter Castro Netadog. A magistrate's complaint alleges that Netadog became agitated when the victim refused to have sex with him and that he ripped her clothes off her body while inappropriately touching the victim. The court document states that the victim attempted to leave the residence, but Netadog blocked the exit. When the victim was able to calm Netadog down and leave the home, he allegedly told her that he was going to kill everyone that she lived with. He was charged with assault with intent to commit criminal sexual conduct, fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct as a misdemeanor, and unlawful restraint. 41-year-old Peter Rizio Alifios was arrested for a burglary at a Mongmong home back in late July. The value of items was worth almost $3,000. That same day, GPD officers responded to a request for removal of 3 men from an apartment unit in Maiti. Alifios was reportedly one of the 3 men. According to a magistrate's report, they were still occupying the unit the next day, and the victim filed a report and requested removal. Officers noted various items within the residence matched the items stolen from the Mongmong residence. He was not present when officers arrived and was later located on September 10. According to the report, he initially admitted to stealing stuff before, but later recanted and insisted he never stole anything. He also admitted that he used to rent the Mighty apartment unit, but was evicted. Prior to officers searching his home, he admitted that his pouch had a pipe to smoke ice. He was charged with burglary, theft of property, burglary to a motor vehicle, theft of property, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and criminal trespass. Department of Rev and Tax confirms that it processed and transmitted to the Treasurer of Guam additional EIP 3 program payments for release from April 10, 2021 through September 16, 2021. DRT processed over 87,269 payments, totaling $224.2 million. The latest batch is a little over $304,000. And in regional news, some CNMI residents undergoing a 5-day mandatory quarantine at government facilities on Saipan are sounding off. Some say rooms aren't clean enough, and issues about mental health of those in quarantine need to be addressed. We asked the CNMI COVID-19 Task Force about it at a press conference on Friday.
Quality assurance and quality control is our utmost. We monitor daily concerns, daily complaints, and we address them accordingly. But business of hospitality is also very difficult on a two-way street. But again, we're doing our best to bring safety as well as healthy and livable environment. So we are addressing every single issues that come our way. We are working with the contractors, both PAC and Kanoa. It's been about 20 months now So, operating at this level of service, it brings also, a toll.
Villagomez says they actively address complaints and take them very seriously. And keeping with regional headlines, here's KSBN 2 News.
Half a day, Dantito, Guam. Here's what's making headlines in the CNMI.
Instead of choosing 2 airlines, we ended up choosing 3 airlines, which is JGO, T-Way, and Asiana. So that's the incentive program that we have. Okay. So we have 3 airlines that flies in once a week. We know that right now it doesn't fill up. We know that. With our tourism, it takes time before we start marketing CNMI. But for every month that we don't market CNMI, it's 3 months behind. So our take is that our investment, it's an investment. We make this investment to make sure that, hey, we are safer than anywhere else. And please consider us and look into our travel bubble journey with Korea. And make this a priority as we come closer when that travel bubble valve is open. We are right there to capture that market. That's basically our model here. It's an investment. So you don't just invest $2 million today and expect $4 million the next day. So if we're looking at the total number of population of Korea, which is I believe 52 million, 56 million, if half of that is vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and we get 1% or 2% of that market, then we should be enough moving forward in our calculation.
For more news, please visit saipantv.com. For KSBN2, I'm Sally Limas.
Thanks, Sally. The Biden administration has begun notifying governors and refugee coordinators about how many Afghan evacuees will be resettled in individual states. This comes as a new group made up of former presidents, Afghan Americans, and advocates launched this week to help accelerate resettlement efforts so evacuees can assimilate to life in their new country. Natalie Brand talked to 2 Afghan Americans about this process and what's needed to help tens of thousands now arriving in the United States.
Cities big and small across the country continue to collect donations and prepare to welcome tens of thousands of Afghan evacuees forced to flee their home country, now faced with starting over in a new one.
Me and my husband, we were struggling to find an appropriate job because here our work experience was not counted.
Geeta Faramand Rahimi arrived to the U.S. in 2015 on a special immigrant visa, leaving Afghanistan under Taliban threat.
I was working with the U.S. government that put my life and life of my family in danger. It was a big and hard decision for me to leave Afghanistan, but I didn't have any other choice.
She now works with Refugee Services of Texas and was named to the council of the newly formed Welcome.us, aimed at connecting Americans who want to help with the groups working on the front lines.
Specifically at the bases, there is a need for cultural competency, people there that can speak the language and help them during this time.
Homaira Hosseini, who fled Afghanistan with her family in the 1990s, is now an attorney in the Bay Area and a board chair of the Afghan American Community Organization.
It's going to require commitment both from private and public sectors to ensure that Afghan refugees can successfully weave into the American fabric.
She says longer-term needs will be jobs and affordable housing. But advocates and Afghan Americans want new evacuees to know
we will help you navigate your ways here in U.S.
A growing support network is ready to put them on the right track. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
And the Isla Center for the Arts is hosting a special Japanese martial arts exhibit. Daniel Perez has more.
The Spirit of Budo Japanese martial arts exhibit has come to Guam at the Isla Center for the Arts at UOG. This exhibition features replicas of bows, helmets, and traditional samurai armor. These works include beautiful details, such as lacquered woven silk cords that are used to bind and decorate the armor, as well as copper and gold finishes. There is also a section of training gear that includes practice swords, iron clogs, and hand weights. A brief video presentation summarizes the different forms of martial arts in Japan. Teaching assistant and gallery management staff Alexandru Gan.
The Spirit of Budo is a traveling exhibit currently held by the Japanese consulate on Guam. They have planned to display a bunch of artifacts such as weapons, practice materials, sets of armors, gear, traditional martial arts clothing, as well as to inform the general public about the history of Japanese martial arts such as judo and kendo.
With the appreciation of martial arts on Guam, enthusiasts can visit to learn more about the rich history of Japanese martial arts and how it's still contributing to modern-day combat sports.
A lot of the artifacts here have been historically used. A lot of them were recovered from donations and from other situations in Japan. A good portion of these are also just simply created for the purpose of these practices, such as the kendo sticks. It's mostly eye-catching because the exhibit itself is very historical and very informative about the martial arts of Japan, especially considering that martial arts is very popular in Guam. I feel that it is important for people to come and visit either the exhibit here or at the Guam Museum to better understand a brief history of the artifacts and the martial arts they come to enjoy.
The exhibit will be at the Isla Center for the Arts for the rest of September from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays. The exhibit will move to the Guam Museum from October 7th to November 7th, and admission is free. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Daniel Perez.
Stay tuned. Next on Weekend Edition, we have Culture Club, and still to come, Dave Delgado with your Sports Roundup.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
KUAM News, in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau, brings you the Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase. Look out for this powerful symbol for visitors, island residents, and industry workers alike, as it represents establishments with a consistent global commitment to safety practices. Stamped with approval by the Guam Visitors Bureau and the World Travel Tourism Council. Every Monday on KUAM News will feature a different local business who's taken the Safe Guam and Safe Travels pledge to maintain health and safety standards to get Guam back on track. Log on to visitguam.com to see how your business can receive the designation, what businesses in our community are Guam Safe certified, and have the WTTC Safe Travel certified.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Hi, my name is Justine Chu.
Jim Pamplona.
Alexis Sablan. I'm Minami Kramer, and I'm a GTA youth leader.
Because of GTA, I was able to go to Interlaken, a summer music camp over the summer, and I'm very, very grateful for that opportunity.
It helped me pay for my college tuition with a scholarship.
Benefits, including a free phone and a year free service.
If you're someone who wants to inspire others, help others, and become a better person, this is for you.
Become a GTA youth leader today.
Welcome back. For this week's Culture Club, we pull one of our favorites from the KUAM archives. Here's graphic design artist Raymond Anderson.
Culture Club, brought to you by Hanem.
Santa Rita resident Raymond Anderson is a graphic designer, having earned his bachelor's in graphic design.
I worked in the fashion industry for about 15 years. And so in LA.
Anderson said he wanted to be closer to his family and loved ones, so he moved back to Guam in 2012. After settling in, he would eventually get back into fashion design and would create his brand, Gutbu Guam, in 2013.
It's about a beautiful person coming from this island, about the experiences of walking on the beach and taking in all the indigenous culture and also being close to my family as well.
Gutbu Guam initially started out as apparel, such as t-shirts, but recently Anderson has branched out into jewelry, working with different artists.
From here and from the mainland, and there's such similarities between our cultures with the Navajo and here, and they also use spiny oyster, and so I think that that's like something that I'm trying to link together.
Making jewelry was nothing new for Anderson, having worked briefly with the company that focused on sterling silver before moving back to the island.
They saw my designs and they were like, oh, let's apply it to jewelry. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And so once I saw that, they started listening to my designs. I was inspired by this brand called Energy Muse as well, and they did a lot of semi-precious stones and lava beads.
Wanting to add pieces like earrings, necklaces, and bracelets to Gutbu Guam, he said his uncle John Damian offered to show him how to make jewelry out of shells and other local materials.
I started making them, and I started making the round beads, the money bead, and then I started looking at the scraps that he was getting rid of, and I was like, hey, I can make a latte stone out of that. I draw inspiration from the people, like working together and creating something that's beautiful, something that's pure, like awe-inspiring.
And with FestPac 2020 set for Hawaii, Anderson has seen a resurgence of young creatives.
The younger generation is now picking up, and there's a lot of us now, and so I think that that's a great way of preserving our culture. I want to, showcase how beautiful people can be and how we can grow together.
Culture Club, brought to you by Harlem.
You can see this and more of future Cultural Club segments on KUAM's digital platforms. And up next, we have sport.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade.
Aliata, one of the captains on the Dartmouth women's rugby team. How has your new role as captain been so far, and how are you trying to make an impact with your team during your last season?
So my new role as captain so far has been quite an honor, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. We have an amazing roster full of talent, and it's exciting to lead the team both on and off the pitch. Looking forward to playing great rugby with amazing girls and hopefully winning a national championship at the end. We have a lot of great competition coming our way, so it's exciting to be able to lead that this year.
The team defeated Quinnipiac 50-10. I'm sure everyone was just excited to be back on the pitch after such a long layoff.
Yeah, so we actually had our first game September 1st against LIU. So that was our first game after 661 days. So we were all both excited and nervous at the same time. But once we found our flow, I think everything started to come for us. And then this game, we were looking more on working on what we had planned to work on from our last game's mistakes. So it was good. We started off slow, but we found our flow, and options started opening up for us, and we just capitalized on that.
And how's everything been as far as maybe the rise in numbers, and are you guys training in pods, or are you guys just full on training as a complete team? And
Yeah, so we're full on training as a complete team. It wasn't as restricted as it was last fall. So we have weekly COVID tests that will help us prevent any cases that may arise and take the necessary precaution that we do need to take.
And which games have you circled on the calendar and looking forward to playing this season?
So I've circled Army, Mount St. Mary's, because I have a whole bunch of friends on that team, and it's exciting to watch Guam play against Guam, and then Harvard, of course, our #1 rival, well, competition, I should say.
Team Guam Olympic weightlifter Jacinta Simagese, you missed out on this year's Olympic Games, but now you're able to represent Guam again. How has training been for this upcoming event?
Yes, it's very unfortunate that I missed out on lifting in the Summer Games, but training has not stopped. Although it was a little setback, I still continue to train each and every day at the gym.
This is going to be your first virtual competition itself, and how it's going to be ran.
Okay, so we've been doing a lot of trial and error runs. The first online was ran earlier this year as a trial run, and that competition actually ran pretty smoothly. I did not compete in that competition, but one of our other lifters did. And from the looks of it, it could be done. We've been doing a lot of testing since then just to make sure we got all the kinks out. And it looks like it's going to turn out to be a really good Oceania championship.
Darren Cepeda, quarterback, senior at La Center, playing for the Wildcats in Washington. Against Woodland High, you had 224 yards passing, 171 yards rushing. You combined for a total of 5 touchdowns.
We knew that going into that game that, it was going to be much tougher. It was going to be much tougher because they're coming off a loss, and, they obviously want to win because they had a downfall in the spring and they didn't really do too well. So we knew that they were going to be tougher. So we just had to put our foot on the gas pedal all throughout the game.
Style of offense that you guys run and how it helps you with your skill set, both being able to run and pass.
Style of offense is RPO based. It's run pass option based around, whether we need to read the defensive ends or read the safety's eyes. I feel like our offense has really grown over the years since I got here my freshman year, just because of different capabilities. My quarterback last year, who's he plays for Portland State. He's he really like mentored me well and took me under his wing and showed me how to run the offense. Former Washington State Player of the Year as well, Tom Lambert. So yeah, I've had a great group of guys that I was surrounded by that took me under their wings and really showed me the offense that the Center Wildcats football runs.
You also play a lot on the defensive side of the ball, playing corner and safety. Your dad and your brother in your corner helping you out along the way.
It's definitely great having them, being able to talk to them after practice, after a big game, just giving me always insights on what I could do better or what I did wrong or what I did well throughout the game. And these guys always push me. My dad always pushes me. Obviously, he's my defensive back coach. My brother, I can relate to him a lot because of what he did in Guam and All Island multiple times. So it really helps me a lot, and I couldn't be more thankful.
Your team's looking at making a run for state this year.
I couldn't say this more. This is one of the best teams that the Center Wildcat football program has had, and the coaches say it to us. But every week we go into each week with zero wins and 0 loss mentality, because we know that we have a target on our back, ranked number 6 in Class 1A Washington. These next 3 games are going to be really tough, especially against good teams like Kalama High School. They're ranked number 1 in their class, which is 2B. And then we have the number 2 ranked Edenville Crusaders, and then number 5 ranked Montesano Bearcats.
In programming news, make sure to catch some NFL action this Monday, September 20th at 3 in the morning. The Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Keep it locked to KUAM TV 11 at 6:25 in the morning. The Dallas Cowboys meet up with the Los Angeles Chargers. Then at 10:20 in the morning on KUAM TV 8, it's the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens for some Sunday night football.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade.
100% truck, 100% Jeep. Experience next-level off-roading on your new Jeep Gladiator, the most capable off-road midsize pickup truck crafted for adventure. Equipped with best-in-class towing capacity, legendary 4x4 Jeep capability, and backed by Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Drive home in a 2021 Jeep Gladiator today, starting as low as $315 per paycheck during Jeep Adventure Days. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com to get pre-approved online today. Terms and conditions apply. Cars Plus, driven by you.
We found out in May of this year that our son had a rare medical condition, and he could not seek the treatment he needed. Our specialist recommended that we travel, or well, the only means of travel was via air ambulance.
I can honestly and truly say that Capo Select Care is really the healthcare that is always there for us.
Of Guam employees and retirees. Enroll now.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy weekend birthday on Saturday to Annalisa Alave. Happy birthday from your co-workers and friends. Have a safe one, they say, and please enjoy your special day. Absolutely. Priscilla Kadag, aka Chilang, happy blessed 85th birthday from your family, and they say we love you to pieces. Happy birthday. We wish you the best. Janet Cabrera Reyes celebrates a birthday on Saturday, and to our mom and grandma and Gigi, your children, grandchildren, great-granddaughter, and the family are wishing you all of the best. And happy birthday number 1 to Lucas Michael from Sissy Mila, Mommy, Daddy, Mama, Papa, and Yaya. Then let's shift over to Sunday birthday babies, because Hayden Ray Kitsu celebrates birthday number sweet 13 this year. And to our girl, happiest of birthday wishes from Mom, Dad, Jesse, and Tassi. Alexandra Julia Samante, happy birthday to you from Mommy Lilibet, Samante Bunda, and the entire family. And happy birthday number 5 to Paca San Agustin, to our fur baby. You are getting all the love in the world from the whole family.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUF.com. Please make sure to include with your photo, your name, and your birthday. That's all we have time for from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Beyond our borders.